specials at the Al-Ansar shop. From premium quality dates, refreshing Zamzam water to beautiful Ramadan gifting ideas for family, friends and loved ones, Al-Ansar shop has everything you need to welcome the holy month. Perfect for iftar and meaningful gifts that come from the heart. Visit Al-Ansar shop today and prepare for Ramadan the right way. Call 031-208-1601 or visit us at 207 West Road in Overport. Al-Ansar shop, preparing hearts and homes for Ramadan.
I dedicate this month to you.
J.Junaid Jamshed. Summer Gala sale is now live. Enjoy flat 50% off from 22nd January to 1st February. Visit our store at 222 Felix Lamini Road, Overport, or shop online at za.junaidjamshed.com.
Radio Al-Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM. Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Get ready for Green Thumbs Up, the gardening and natural living show you didn't know you needed. I'm your host and life coach, Carvalho, and we're talking birds, bees, butterflies, and blooms, growing food in garden rooms, home-based holistic healing, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned gardener, nature lover, plant assassin, or permaculture professional, we got you. We got you. Let us bring you the ideas, the facts, support, and inspiration to go green wherever you are. Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. only on Radio Al-Ansar.
Look at the sun, look at the sky, look at the birds.
Radio Al-Ansar.
Shining so bright in the middle of the night. Oh look, there's a shooting star. Do you ever wonder who created this and who created that? Allah created.
Hey, it's Green Thumbs Up Day. It is Sunday. Beautiful day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dumela Saubona. Hello, how's that, everybody? In this beautiful South Africa and abroad. You're listening to Radio Al-Ansar, to Green Thumbs Up show. You know us. We're that gardening and natural living show you didn't know you needed, where everybody's an expert and nobody has all the answers, but together we grow. With me in studio, yes, I am back in studio, back in South Africa, is Brother Sibuniso Mkhize. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Good to see you. Good to be with you in the building, 207 West Road.
That's right, folks. You know our WhatsApp number, 060-904-1056. Today, we have the berry show. Yes, we're talking berries, everything to do with berries. We're going to start with how to garden berries. And for that, we have an expert waiting online with us. And she's already on video. So I hope that you're going to join us, not just for the radio audio 90.4 FM. Yes, 105.6 in Pietermaritzburg. And 90.4, of course, in Durban. I hope you're going to stay with us for the next hour from 9 to 10. And we're going to be talking, of course, first of all, as always, we do a weather check. Cape Town, you have beautiful weather, but I mean, what else is new this time of the year? You always have beautiful weather. The weather in Durban, hey, we've had a lot of rain lately, lots of rain, but guess what? It's going to subside. It's going to subside this week. We're going to have rain on Tuesday and Sunday. Today, we've got some cloudy weather. And then it's similar in Johannesburg. Johannesburg will be having a lot more heavier rain Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. So, you know, when that heavy rain comes, get your plants indoors. Now, my guest is waiting on the line, and I want to introduce her with a story because she's deserving of a story. Now, Elise Leroux is a agricultural specialist, and she has been for the last 10 years working with berries. And did you know that you can grow certain types of berries all year round? She's going to tell us all about that. And I'm going to tell you a story, speaking of all year round. It's the legend of the strawberries in January. And the deep frozen forests of the Slavic mountains, think about it. There used to be a little girl called Marushka. She was kind, she was gentle, but her stepmother and her stepsister, of course, were cruel, as in all these stories, right? So one bitter day of January, during the worst blizzard of the entire year, the stepsister decided that she had a craving for fresh strawberries. Go into the forest, the stepmother said to Marushka, and don't come back until you have a basket full of red strawberries. But it's winter, Marushka pleaded. The earth is sleeping under the snow. There are no berries. So they pushed her out the door and they bolted it shut. And poor old Marushka was wandering around the snowdrifts, shivering, hopeless. She didn't know what to do. And then she saw a fire burning high up in the mountain peak. And when she reached it, she saw 12 men sitting around the flames. Now, 3 of them were old men with white beards, okay? And the others kind of all looked a little bit different, and they were the 12 months. So Great January, holding a heavy staff, asked, "What do you need?" And she explained that if she didn't get some berries, she's going to die. So the months took pity on her. And January stood up and gave his staff to the younger man, Brother March, who struck the fire and the snow began to melt. Then March handed the staff to Brother June, and June struck the earth, and instantly the blizzard vanished. The white snow turned to green turf, and buds swelled on the branches. The birds began to sing, and star-shaped white flowers erupted across the ground. "Hurry, Marushka!" the June commanded, and she fell to her knees, gathering the berries into her apron as fast as she could. She ran home in the blizzard, put the basket of red summer sweet strawberries on the table in front of her very stunned stepmother. Ha! It had been a setup. Did you not know it? Yes. And to this day, the age-old legend says that if you smell strawberries in the dead of winter, the 12 months are sitting by the fire, trading places. And on that note, welcome to Radio Al-Ansar, Elise LaRue. How are you this morning? And thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me. Yeah, no, it's quite warm actually here in Benoni today. It's the first time in this whole week that we've got sunshine, so it's a very good day.
Wow, you've got sunshine, we've got rain. I get sunshine. The cloudy day, you've got sunshine, we've got the cloudy day. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, tell us a little bit about your journey with berries, because you've been working with berries now for 10 years and tunnels and all sorts of things.
Yeah, no, we've got the Monterey variety here with us. And I must say, that's a whole year. It goes from January to December. It grows right through the year. So, but for us to maintain it, it's a big job actually, because we have to prune it on a weekly basis, fertilize it. Pruning is when we take off all the old leaves so that new leaves can grow, new flowers, new fruit. So it takes a lot of time and effort and patience, but every weekend, Friday to Sunday, we've got public picking. So children, parents, grandparents, uncles, anyone can come, get a bucket and go pick themselves some nice, big, juicy strawberries. It's an experience for them because they can pick it themselves. And it's educational. Children loves it because it's not something you just go buy on the shelf at Pick and Pay, or at Spar. It's something that you actually pick yourself. So it's quite amazing. Children just loves it. And we do venues for school children where we educate them on the stages of how plants grow, from seeds to sterlings to bigger plants to the fruiting system. And it's very successful.
Well, that's fantastic. And you've been doing this for quite a while. Now, you how did you get started with berries though? What made you go into berries?
You know what? I think it started in the beginning. We just got a lot of inquiries about strawberries because there's nothing in this area that actually does this. So we thought maybe let's just see if it's going to work. The first few months was a struggle, but I believe it took about a year and a half since then that people just started taking notice and we started advertising. And I must say, it became a big hit, the strawberries. Then we started with the blueberries. And again, people love, especially the elder people, because of the antioxidants that's in the blueberries that helps for eyesight. It helps with high blood pressure. It helps. It's got cancer. It maintains cancer cells. So That's also a big hit. The blackberries we tried, but people struggle to pick it because of the thorns. So we had to stop with the blackberries.
So you're on a farm. Whereabouts are you based in South Africa?
We in Gauteng, in Benoni small farms. It's basically, so we've got, all the other places around us, Benoni, Brockpan, Springs. So it's quite in an area where lots of people can come and do public picking. Even we got people from Johannesburg coming there. So yeah.
It sounds like a wonderful idea, but I want to go back to how you started with the strawberries. Did you go out and buy thousands of plants, or did you start small and then just keep growing? How did you approach it?
We started actually with a few plants. I think we first bought 500 small plants, and then we had to get into the program, how it grows, how long it takes, how many fruit comes from one plant, production we had to monitor. And then when we saw that, in a week's time, we could get off about 60 kgs from those 500 plants. So we decided, okay, let's get more. And at the end of the day, we've got at the moment 9,000 strawberry plants. And every time there's a runner growing out of it, we transplant that baby to make more plants. So we are just expanding, and keep growing them.
Now, that's something that the home grower, because people do like to grow berries at home. And it's wonderful to talk to you because you have all this experience, and I'm hoping that you can help some of our home gardeners as well. So if you've got a strawberry plant, people don't know that strawberries, you can grow them by seed, but it takes a long time. The easiest way is by suckers. And I always think of, these strawberries that kind of just throw out a little arm, and then whoops, it goes into the ground, and whoops, up comes a little plant. But now, does one little strawberry plant throw out one sucker, or does it throw out many? How does it work?
One plant can actually throw out about 5 to 6 runners. We call it runners, that can be transplanted into a new pot. So one plant gives you 6 extra runners, and those runners can give about approximately 6 to 7 fruit on that. So it depends on the bigger the plants, or the more leaves the plants got, the more runners it's going to give to you. So
now
one plant can actually,
Go on.
Sorry. No, I said like one plant can give 6 runners. So imagine 9,000 of them, each give you 9 runners, so it can multiply by a lot of them.
Area, if you're not careful, you'll be taking over the entire area with strawberries.
That's true.
Okay, so let's go back to now, folks, if you have a strawberry plant at home, and blueberries we're going to talk about, these are different. So strawberries are kind of smaller individual plants, and they have little sucker, little arms that jump out and create a new one. And a blueberry then is in a bush. So you were talking earlier on about pruning and cutting back the dead leaves. What happens if you don't do that? Because now you're in summer, but with the heat and with the rain that you've got, you're still getting so many dead leaves. What happens if you just leave them because it's summer?
Sure, no. Then that's what's going to happen is your plant is going to, when you water the plants, okay, the roots has to take up all that nutrients. But now if there's too many dead leaves, the water doesn't know where to go. So then it stays in the roots, and it just lays there. It doesn't go where it's supposed to go. It's like the brain dies. So at the time, the root is going to be overlocked with water, and the plant is going to die. So you will need to take off all the dead leaves so that new ones can grow out of there. especially weeds. If you have weeds in your plants, take them out. They are thieves. They steal all the nutrients that the plant is supposed to get. So those little thieves needs to be removed on a weekly basis. And they grow like nothing. They just grow. It's something we can't. We've tried everything, but they're always there. But just if you remove them, remove all the dead leaves, you'll see the flower will get oxygen and it will grow bigger.
I think that's a lot of where we home growers sometimes go wrong, is we kind of think nature will take its course when it comes to pruning. And in the cases of some plants like roses, if you don't prune them, nature will prune it itself. The stuff's going to die off. But with strawberries, and I think with berries in general, what you leave on rots, and also it stops the it rots. It causes the roots to rot, and of course that's going to attract fungi and it's going to attract bugs. So it's a huge job if you've got plants to be running around. Do you kind of get people and say to them, listen, while you're picking strawberries, can you like pick off the dead leaves too?
Yeah, no, we do get them because sometimes, like I said, 9,000 plants, to look after them on a daily basis, it takes its toll sometimes, but we do try. But if the dead leaves are off and we water them 3 times a day with about 250 to 500 mils of water, because strawberries needs to be not soggy, but the soil needs to be wet. Otherwise, because of this heat, sometimes the leaves will get scorched. It will just die. So the watering system is also very important. You have to water it at least 3 times a day.
Now, I didn't know that. I didn't know that strawberries are such thirsty little plants. So they need water all the time. How about the blueberries? Are they also very thirsty?
Blueberries are worse. They are like water alcoholics, okay? They need about 750 mils 3 times a day. So that's almost 2 liter water a day. They are water alcoholics. They just drink water all the time, especially during the summer. Yeah, yeah, no, they're terrible. But especially in summer, we give 750 ml water. When it's winter time, we just make it less, round about 450, just so that the soil can be moist, still be moist, but not overlocked with water. Because too much water will kill the roots, but at least you just put your finger into the soil. If you can feel it's moist, you just don't give water again.
Absolutely, the little finger test. Put it in up to your first phalange. That's the little bendy part, folks. And if you find that it's damp, then leave it. But that's interesting. A lot of people say, oh, my berry bush is dying, my strawberry bush is dying. And 10 to 1, it's water. Now, what about pests? What are some of the most common pests that we see with these berries?
Okay, on strawberries, the most common one will be the powder mildew. Okay, that is a white powderish, but it's not harmful to people. People think, oh goodness, we can't pick it, but actually you can just rinse it off in vinegar water. But that happens with the weather. Okay, like today it's sunny, it's hot. Tomorrow it's raining, it's cold. So all that moisture dries up on the plants, and then the plant doesn't know what to do with it, and then it becomes white. But that's not harmful. Butterflies are the worst enemy at strawberries. The worst enemy. You think it's cute? You think it's cute? I think it's cute, but it's not. It will go and it will lay an egg on your strawberry. You won't see the egg. It's so small. Then, with the heat and the water you give, it becomes a worm inside of the strawberry. So by the time you get to the strawberry, it looks pretty red outside. As soon as you touch it, it will squish because that worm ate everything inside. So it's not something that you can always see. So the best way to keep them out is by cleaning your gutters with what's it called? It's that apple cider vinegar. It's a stench. It smells terrible, but it works against the butterflies.
Okay, and of course, we use a lot of neem oil spray. We find that helps.
Yes, neem oil helps. Even baking soda will help. And milk spray. If you have got milk at home, just normal plain full cream milk, dilute it with a little bit of water and spray it on the leaves around. That will also help.
So I'm just going to give our listeners a quick recap because we have a little bit of a sound issue in on some of the platforms. So here's the recap, folks. Strawberries and berries are water thirsty. They are thirsty beyond thirsty. So what Elise has told us is for the strawberries, and Elise is going to correct me, it's 250 mils of water 3 times a day that she uses for the strawberries, and for the blueberries even more than that during the summer months because they are really thirsty and they like to be not waterlogged, but they like to be constantly soil moist. They are thirsty little bloogers and they love it. So we've got to keep them moist. In the winter, guess what? You're still watering as frequently, but you're reducing the amount. Whereas one would think it's winter, don't water them as regularly. Elise has taught us that what we need to do is still water regularly, but just like a little bit down. Take it down, a few notches. And then the mildew, that's not an issue because mildew, it's not toxic for us, but there are natural ways to get rid of mildew. If you've only got 1 plant at home or 2 plants, folks, remember the old sunlight and water mix it, spray it. You just got to do it every day, and that should get rid of your mildew. Now, you mentioned a specific cultivar, Elise, that grows throughout the entire year. What was that again?
The Monterey, the strawberry Monterey, that's right through the year.
Now that's interesting because it's through the year, and yet when we go to the old picker pockets or the corner stoppets, what we find is come the winter time, the price of these things go through the roof, and yet it's still there.
Yeah, I believe that will be the Albion because there's 2 varieties here in South Africa that you can do, the Albion and the Monterey. Albion is also right through the year, but the production tends to become smaller in the winter time. That's why the prices goes higher in that time. But Monterey goes right through. It's just between, I'll say, April and August, you'll get little less production, but there is available. It's just a little bit less because now the plant just has to kind of rest a bit to get ready for the next harvest. But it's right through the year we do have Monterey.
Now, very quickly, tell us about soil. What kind of soil do they like? Is it just a normal potting mix that someone could use at home, or how would that work?
Soil you can use as long as it's non-acid. What non-acid? Non-acid soil. Yeah. But what I see what works is if you get sawdust and you put it on top of your soil, it will keep the soil moist. So if you decide to go away for a weekend, you can water the plant on that Friday. That sawdust will keep your soil moist and it won't die off before you come back on Sunday. So if you didn't water during the weekend, the sawdust would have kept that moisture in for you because it would have kept all the water in there. So that's something that also can help.
Do you know, many years ago, talking to Margaret Roberts, who's now passed, she had said to me that with strawberries, dear, what you need to do is get yourself some khaki boss. I did not know this. She said, make yourself some khaki boss, little kind of, what did you call them? Rings. So you twist it if you're at home and you've got strawberries, or even for pumpkins and things. And she'd say, lay those little rings of khaki boss under the strawberries and under your pumpkins, and that will stop all the bugs and the things from eating up your beautiful strawberries. I don't know if it works. I know you probably got lots of plastic underneath, so the plants kind of pop out, yes?
Yeah. Yes. But like I said, we also I made a fertilizer program for public that does buy plants from us. So, for them to use home ingredients, that's not expensive. Like plants needs potassium. You just need banana peels. Put that in a pot of water, cook it, and eggshells. It's got calcium in it. Coffee beans, it got nitrogen in it. So there's a lot of products from home you can use to fertilize your plant, and in the meantime you're also watering. So it's a win-win situation that you can do, and I've seen it work a lot of times.
So when is blueberry season? We have to have you back for the blueberries.
Blueberry season is usually between August to January.
Okay, August to January. Wonderful. Well, Elise, thank you so much for being on the show with us today. It's been great having you. We're going to talk more in depth with you in future shows when we bring you back for the berries. But before we go, now you've got strawberry picking. It's great for the kids. It's great for families. You know what? Just let us know, where are you based, or if you have a social media handle, that would be great, or website.
Yes, we do. It's on Facebook. We are called McFresh Deli and Berry Farm. The destination will also be on there, the location. So you can see all the updates and videos and photos that public takes about our berry place.
That is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Elise. And we're going to be speaking to you again very soon. Thank you for being with us on Radio Al-Ansar on Green Thumbs Up.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, so that was Elise, and she was telling us about the strawberries. Isn't that absolutely fascinating? Now, Sister Sarah has sent us a message, and I'm just trying to get a hold of it. Because there's quite a few messages that came in. I'm just trying to find where it is. Brother Sibonisi will help us over here. I wanted to tell you, she mentioned the banana tea. And quite coincidentally, our tisane of the morning this morning is banana tea. But if you look on the social medias, you'll see that it's quite a pinky colored tea. Now, this is not the banana leaf tea. There's a difference in benefits from banana leaf and banana skin tea. Now, why have I brought in banana leaf tea? Because guess what? You may think that a banana is, well, you know what, it's just a banana. But bananas are actually, did you know, berries? Yep, berries. Bananas are part of the berry family. So what we looked up, okay, so what are berries? What classifies something as a berry? And, well, of course, you need to have seeds on the inside. Seeds on the inside. So is strawberry actually a berry? Well, botanically speaking, actually, hey, maybe not. But it is a fruit nonetheless. And so there we go. Banana skin tea or banana peel tea is a great antioxidant. It's got lots of potassium for you as well. So it is a wonderful one for you to have. Now, you can have different kinds of berries, and this is where our Nature's Apothecary comes in. And I'm going to tell you about the Nature's Apothecary side when we come back from the break, and I'm going to read you a couple of messages. So stay with us, and we'll be back right after this.
Come get our butcher's best for less at Checkers Cowie Park and Westwood Mall. Enjoy certified halal butchery products like Steakhouse Classic Rump Steak, just $199.99 per kilo. All beef roast, just $129.99 per kg. Leg of lamb, just $169.99 per kilo. Deals valid until Sunday, January 25th at Checkers Cowie Park and Westwood Mall. Butchery, bakery, and deli. Certified halal by the NIHT.
WhatsApp us now on 060 904 1056.
Sunday Lounge. 10 to 12. Latest machine. Celebrity artist features. Event. News from the machine world. Top 10 countdown. Sunday Lounge.
Every day, thousands go to bed hungry, but you can change that. With just 10 Rand, you can provide a loaf of bread. This bread is more than just a donation, it is a lifeline for so many families in need. Be part of the Al Ansar Outreach Slice of Life drive today. Call Outreach on 031 208 1601 and make a difference one loaf at a time.
ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن. Invite all to the way of your Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching and reason with them in a way that is best and most gracious. Join Shabir Pasha every Saturday at 7 p.m. on the show Dawah Dynamics and every Sunday on the Dawah Chronicles at 9 p.m. remembering the companions of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Join the discussion, analyze the life, sacrifices and contributions of the Prophet's companions and learn from their experience.
More than 800 million people around the world live in deep poverty, uncertain of where the next meal will come from. For those on the brink of starvation, a food pack means survival, dignity, and hope. Send food, send kindness. Be the reason a family does not go hungry. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
A station for conversation, Radio Al Ansar.
Get ready for Green Thumbs Up, the gardening and natural living show you didn't know you needed. I'm your host and life coach, Rabia 09Am, and we're talking birds, bees, butterflies, and blooms, growing food in garden rooms, home-based holistic healing, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or nature lover, plant assassin, or permaculture professional, we got you. We got you. Let us bring you the ideas, the facts, support, and inspiration to go green wherever you are. Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. only on Radio Al Ansar.
Welcome back to Green Thumbs Up, Gardening and Natural Living. And today we're talking about berries. It is a very, very interesting show today. And that was a very interesting interview. Gosh, that's interesting. I think the thing that stayed with me the most was how much water they actually need. This is the kind of tips that you get from someone who's been doing something for like a decade, and they can tell you exactly 250 mils of water 3 times a day. Take that tablet, pop it in. There you go. It's wonderful. A couple of messages. Sister Sarah Bibi Mustafa says, hey, welcome to South Africa and on Al Ansar station. Hey, you very naughty and dancing bubbly Rabia Carvalho. Very happy to hear you. My salams and duas to you and your family. Hope your mom is well. Alhamdulillah with your duas. She's better. Jazakallah for your message. Duas through the bottom of my heart. You are in my precious duas, making us laugh, making funny words just like Googie Poogie. Make the girls laugh. Oh, I love that. That is just so funny. She says, I can just imagine your top green thumbs up show. Salams to the technician and welcome home. So that is from Sister Sarah Bibi Mustafa. And another message. I missed you, always thinking of you. You make me laugh so much. Awesome. Subhanallah. Another message came in. Assalamu alaikum, jazakallah khair for your weekly awesome program. Please give me the details of the strawberry farm. So we are going to send you that. I think she said, let me just see. She said it's the Macberry and Delhi farm. That was the website. I think it's MAC, Mac Deli, like a deli, delicatessen, and berry. So imagine that. You could just pop up to Joburg for a weekend, go and pick some strawberries any time of the year. Now, here's some interesting facts you may not know about berries. Did you know that it's not only the berries that get thirsty, but there is a thing called the drunken bird phenomenon. Phenomenon. Do, 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 do. Phenomenon. Do, 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 do. No. The drunken bird phenomenon is when berries like rowans and hawthorns actually freeze and then they thaw. And because they were frozen and then they thaw, the sugars in them actually ferment into alcohol. So we humans don't pick those berries and eat them, but the birds do. Ha! And particularly birds like the Bohemian waxwing and the New Zealand wood pigeon are notorious for gobbling up these fermented berries. And then the kereroo, there's a New Zealand wood pigeon, apparently. They're so famous for getting completely wasted on these berries that they were voted Bird of the Year in New Zealand, largely because they keep falling out of the trees in a drunken stupor. You see, this is why you don't drink alcohol. You don't want to be falling out of trees in drunken stupors. Naughty birdies. Naughty birdies. So, let's talk about what a berry is, what a berry isn't, what a berry do, what a berry don't. The imposters, as I mentioned, was a strawberry. But what else is an imposter berry? What else is an imposter? Well, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries are in fact, folks, not berries. They are aggregate fruits because each one of those little pieces, right, of the raspberry and of the blackberry, those little bubbles, each one of those little bubbles is actually an individual little fruit. And so they grow in little clumps. But strawberries are not, because ambaya, no, not ambaya, arbaya, are not berries because they have seeds on the outside. Now we're talking about botanical. Remember, there is a classification of fruits, veg, berries, and everything else botanically, cosmetically, culinarily, and so we need to differentiate that this is botanically. So in order to be a true berry, here's the thing. The fruit must develop from a single little flower, one flower from one ovary. And the seeds have to be on the inside, not on top, on the inside. So this is the opposite, right? And since berries have seeds on the outside, that makes them disqualified. But I want to ask you to WhatsApp me on what you think is a berry that you would be surprised. Like a banana is actually a berry. But what else? What else? There are 3 and I want you to guess them. What else is a berry that you don't think is a berry, but it fits the description? Develops from one single flower and one single ovary and has seeds on the inside and therefore is a berry, but you don't think is a berry. 060-904-1056. Or if you're on any of the social medias, that's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. TikTok would be my TikTok, lifecoach.rabia. Let me know. Now, speaking of lifecoach.rabia, I must tell you guys and gals out there that I will be doing a course, and that's in my own capacity, on Nature's Apothecary, and that is how to start your Nature's Apothecary. Now, I've done many of these mini presentations at our Radio Al-Ansar Souks and the Durban Summer Souk and lots of other places. But if you're wanting to get that information, you've got to come find me, Life Coach Rabia. That's what you've got to do. Yes, indeed. So then we can talk about that and we can cover some of that here as well in our show. So here are some other ancient myths that you might not know about. Now, this is folklore. Isn't it wonderful to see the cultural things that people believe about stuff, right? Like that legend from the mountains. Now, ancient myths. Did you know that in the UK folklore, you never eat blackberries after September the 29th? Because apparently, then it becomes the devil's fruit. Can you even? Yes. The truth is actually that by late September, the wetter weather calls grey mold into the blackberries, and so it makes them bitter. That's actually the reason. But go figure, people will find something out, right? And then in Norse mythology, strawberries were associated with their goddess of marriage, and they were considered so sacred that they were forbidden to eat them. Aren't you glad you're not Norse? Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah. Eat them strawberries. They're good for you. And then the Cherokee legend, here's another one. In the Cherokee legend, it tells that strawberries were created to stop a fight between one of the first men and woman. And the woman left in a rage. They were fighting, and the woman stomped out. She was none too happy. And so the son, wanting to help her, created strawberries in her path. And the scent of the strawberries was so sweet that she stopped to eat the strawberries, forgot she was angry, and went back home. How awesome is that? Oh, my word. So now, folks, I have a recipe for you. So get out your pens and paper. You know you need one for this show. Before I give you that recipe, let me give you this a few messages that have come in as well. And that is from one of our, she says, hope you're well. Is it a kiwi in the berry family? Actually not, but good try. Somebody else, Abu Reazuddin says a banana. Yes, we mentioned banana. Indeed, banana is certainly a berry. And then Sister Jamila says, hip, hip, hooray. Sister Rabia is back today. Marhaba, you're an incredible, inspiring, intriguing, charismatic, oh my word, captivating storyteller. Oh, I should tell more stories. That's what I should do. Take care and stay safe. Jazakallah, Sister Jamila, to all of you for your messages. Another one here, Sister RB says, salams, a tomato. My strawberry never bears. I think there's two different messages in that one sentence. So, Sister Sarah, if your strawberry never bears, make sure that you're giving it enough water. Because remember, she said strawberries need a lot of water. So 250 mils 3 times a day per strawberry plant. And then she says a tomato. A tomato is a fruit. And yes, it is a berry. Drum roll. Yes, you got it right. But I'm going to give these away because you guys are never going to get it. I can promise you now, you are not going to guess this one. The first one, of course, is, I wrote these down because I don't forget, watermelon. Ha! Yes, a watermelon is a berry. Did you know this? It's specifically a berry type called a pepo. Pepo, 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 pepo is a watermelon. It's a berry. A pumpkin. Did you know that? Culinarily, a pumpkin is a vegetable, but botanically, pumpkins are giant, hard-shelled berries. There you have it. And here's one that is the shocker, if you thought those would shock you. Avocados. Are you avocados? Avocados? Avocados, darlings. Avocados are a single-seeded berry. And this is, of course, botanically. Remember, to be a berry, the fruit must develop from one single flower with one ovary and have seeds embedded on the inside, just like an apple. Okay? So there we go. So where's my recipe? I must give you folks this recipe. And quickly, we've got 4 minutes for Nature's Apothecary. I must give this to you. So first, the fresh strawberry bread recipe. It's a quick bread. It's dense. It's moist. It's got all the natural flavors of berries. And of course, as they bake, the bread texture is like a coffee cake. I'm going to give this to our marketing manager, brother Muhammad Salahuddin, and I'm going to ask him to post it up for us. So it takes 15 minutes. This thing is going to bake for 50 to 60 minutes, and it yields 1 whole loaf. So 2 cups of all-purpose cake flour, 3/4 cups of white sugar. That's 1 3/4 cup, not 3 or 4 cups. No, 3/4 cup of white sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon. Hey. Half a teaspoon, pardon me, of cinnamon. Give it some more if you like it. Why not? Half a cup of unsalted butter, or if you want some vegetable oil is also fine. If you wanted a lighter crumb, use the vegetable oil. Olive oil, why not? Yes, indeed. 2 large eggs. Mind you, with the price of olive oil nowadays, rather have some unsalted ghee. 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then a half a cup of milk. But if you like a tangy cake, substitute the milk for buttermilk, because then you're going to get the tang in your cake, which is really nice with the strawberry. Cuts out that acidity, darlings. And then 2 cups of your fresh strawberries diced very small. Now, obviously, you're going to wash them and dry them thoroughly. If you wanted to make this a nutty cake, you can also add a half a cup of chopped pecans or walnuts. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to preheat your oven to 180. Then you're going to grease a loaf pan generously with butter. Unsalted butter is fine. Salted butter is fine. And I'm going to give you a tip, an old school tip. If you want that to be crusty, you know how you grease it with butter? You grease your cakes with butter? Take some sugar and use that instead of flour to flour up your pan. Caster sugar works really well. That's just another extra tip. So you're going to then mix up. Here's what you're going to do. In a small bowl, you're going to toss your diced berries with 1 tablespoon of flour. That's going to stop them from sinking to the bottom of the loaf. Very important. Then you're going to mix your dry stuff, the remaining flour, the sugar, the baking powder, the salt, the cinnamon, mixy. On another bowl, you're going to mix your eggs, your butter or your oil, your milk, your vanilla, all the wet stuff. So the dry stuff and the wet stuff separate, mixy. Now you're going to pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Stir gently with a wooden spoon or a spatula just until the flour disappears. If you stir too much, your bread is going to be tough. You're going to be playing basketball, not having a loaf of bread. Okay, now you've gently folded it. Fold in the flour-dusted strawberries and the nuts at this point, okay? Pour the butter in and bake it for 50 to 60 minutes. Let it cool for 10 minutes. Move it to a wire rack and bing, bang, boom. There is your strawberry bread. And that is all we have time for. I wanted to go through so much else with you folks. I wanted to talk about the benefits of some berries. I'm just going to tell you, the goji berry keeps you calm. The chaste berry is wonderful for menopausal hot flushes. The blueberry for blood sugar control. The cranberry, of course, to flush your bladder. The raspberry is the woman's herb for all things. And your elderberry is your fever breaker. That's all I'm going to say. Get the tinctures, look it up, and I'm going to see you again next week, same place, same time. I want to say thank you to our team here at Radio Al Ansar, and Jazakallah to all of you out there who listen to this show and who follow us on the lives. I will continue on my TikTok live for the next half hour to an hour. Until next week, we will see you again on Green Thumbs Up. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.